Good afternoon. Today, we have the pleasure of inviting speaker engineer Anil Kumar Sharma. Anil Kumar Sharma is a managing director of Impulse Technology Company. Mr. Sharma pursued his BTech in electronics and communications and MTech in microelectronics from Rajiv Gandhi Technical University, Bhopal. He worked in industries like integrated microsystems on Silvaco, Crosslight, QuantumWise software technical specialist for 7 years. Then worked in EDS technologies on Dassault software like MS Studio. Provided training on EDA, TCAD software like Crosslight, Quantumatica, Setforce in different renowned institutes like IIT Bombay, IIT Hyderabad, IIT ISM Dhanbad, IITM Gwalior, and many such universities, including ISRO Bangalore. Okay. Specifically, he has given his training sessions on Crosslight, TCAD tool, and Quantum ATK software in ISRO. Now he's working in Impulse Technology as a managing director, and currently working on various EDA tools called Crosslight software, Fluxim, Exabyte, IO. Today he will show the presentation and demonstration of optical and electrical modeling of simulations and simulations of different kinds of solar cells like organic, perovskite, tandem, heterojunction solar cell, and LED using Setforce software and its application in current and future technology. So thank you, Mr. Anil, for accepting our invitation. Yeah, please start your presentation.
Yeah, thank you
we
very
look
much.
Forward for your talk.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Dr. Sai Santosh Ravi. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Sai Santosh Ravi, who has given me this opportunity to give some talk on this very good workshop. So I would like to thank Dr. Sai Santosh Ravi and Department of Physics, IIT Hyderabad, who has given me this opportunity to explain this simulation software, specifically how the photovoltaic device modeling and simulations can be performed instead of doing with the theoretical and experimental works. So as I already introduced by Dr. Ravi, so we are having from Impulse Technology Delhi. Now we are multiple partners are there for different materials and device simulation software. So today we will discuss about this Fluxim for photovoltaic device modeling and simulations, how it can be beneficial for your research and how you can boost your research using these simulation software, and you can do the virtual analysis and improve the efficiency of your solar cell devices. So we have a talk today on this Fluxim softwares, and apart from that we have other software for materials simulations, material characterizations, that is basically used for the device simulations.
Camera to get the bandwidth.
So we have this Exabyte software.
We're not able to hear you.
Material characterizations that can be useful for device simulations in the Fluxim. So for nanoscale material as well as nanoscale device simulations at atomic scale range using density functional theory, we have this NanoDecal softwares. And for 3-5 compound device applications like microelectronics and optoelectronics device simulations, we have this Crosslight from Canada that can specifically work for compound device application. So today we will discuss about this Fluxim that is very strong for photovoltaic device modeling, simulations, and easy to use. Now photovoltaic device modeling and simulations using Setforce. We will discuss here today and how it can be done easier and how it can beneficial and provide you the accurate results compared to the near to the experimental or theoretical predictions. So this Fluxim is based in Switzerland. It provides a software as well as hardware for R&D and academia for related to the OLED and solar cells to industries and academia worldwide. It is basically outcome of Zurich University of Applied Science and founded in 2006 by Dr. V. Trustra as a spin-off company. As you are working on photovoltaic device, and since if you are doing experimentally, that is also very great. But I also suggest doing experimentally. Sometimes you also need the theory and modeling simulations of software, because theoretical modeling simulations that can also predict the results near to the experimental. We can define the theoretical parameters, electrical and optical parameters, and that can also match 99% accuracy to the experimental. And instead of that, you can also save your time money as well as material, because the experimental equipment are very costlier and materials are also costlier. So you can perform the virtual simulations and match your results with the experimental. Then you can do the fabrications and other synthesis work. That is very great approach to get or to improve your efficiency of your solar cell. And using softwares alone, you can also publish the papers in very good journal and quickly. Now let me discuss about simulation software and how it can be work for your photovoltaic device research, how it can be improve your quantum efficiency and other electrical and optical properties. Whatever you have learned in last 2 days in this workshop, that is very much related to the experimentals and theoreticals. Now this industrial session is also very important, because this industrial session you will get to know how this virtual simulations and experimental validations can be done, and that can match your experimental results. So we have softwares as well as hardwares that can match your results to the experimental. Now we have two softwares. One is called SATFOS and second one is called LAOS. SATFOS stands for Semiconducting Thin Film Optics Simulation Software, related to the ray tracing and optical simulations. It is specifically designed for photovoltaic device modeling, solar cells, batteries, and LEDs. It can calculate the optical and electrical properties of organic semiconductor, materials, perovskite, and quantum dot based devices. And this is SATFOS is about one-dimensional structure. And if you are working on large area devices like large area organic semiconductor simulations, then we have this LAOS software that is based on finite element method based analysis. So FEM analysis for designing, simulation and optimization of large area solar cell that can perform the electrical, thermal and optical simulations. And whatever the losses will be there, like once you draw the design your solar cell, you do the modeling, there is some top contact, bottom contact, and due to that contact regions, there is some losses, electrical losses, ohmic losses across that electrode. So what will be the losses, how we can overcome or reduce such losses, that can also be studied using this LAOS software if you are working on large area devices applications. So one-dimensional and two-dimensional, we have complete package for photovoltaic device modeling and simulations. Along with equipment is also there that can validate your research to the experimental. Now, whatever the results are coming with the experiment, the simulation software, are the results are matching with the experimental, or it is reliable or not. That's why we have equipment as well, electrical and optical characterization equipment that can also check your results and validate it. So we have one equipment that is called PIOS. That is basically a wide variety of electrical optical characterization equipment that can work for organic, perovskite, quantum dot based LED and solar cell. And with one click, you can get all the results. It will get consistent, precise measurement data and directly compare your results in the measurement software, and you can speed up your R&D. So all electrical characterizations can be done using this PIOS. So these are equipment. Previous slides I have explained there are two softwares. So if software you want to work on simulations, you can prefer the software. If you want to work on equipment characterization, then we have equipment as well. So for PIOS, that is for electrical and optical characterizations, and for stability or lifetime measurement for solar cell and LED, we have this LITOS, that is Advanced Solar Cell and LED Stability Analysis Measurement Systems. And there is one more product that is called LITOS Lite that can perform the parallel current density and stability measurement for organic and perovskite based solar cell. So these PIOS, LITOS and LITOS Lite all are measurement platform that is also integrated with analysis software, SATFOS and LAOS to calculate the electrical optical device characterization, parameter extraction and model validations. So here you can get a complete platform where all photovoltaic device research can be done and validate, and you can perform various improvement can be done for your electrical and optical properties. Now, what applications you can cover up basically here? So today we will discuss about software because we have scheduled the presentation on modeling and simulations. So SATFOS is very broad software that can cover up all photovoltaic device applications. Silicon as well as organic perovskite device can be simulated. So as you can see in the screen, organic, inorganic perovskite, tandem solar cell, heterojunction thin film, organic photodetector, quantum dot space solar cell, and LED devices can also be simulated along with photovoltaic. So this is specifically designed for photovoltaic, that is very strong and very optimized software and very fast in the calculations. Now, main thing is that user interface. Once a new user or existing user, even if he would like to work on the software, if he is already working experimentally, then it is difficult for them to just learn the software. But here, what we do, we will provide you a very good user interface, so that instead of putting the script or understanding the code behind that script, you will get the very good user interface, so that only put the value whatever you do the experimental work, like thickness of that particular materials or homo-lumo value, mobility, lifetime, or electrical and optical parameters you can set in the user interface, and you can do the modeling easier. So you have no need to write any script in the software. Everything as you can see in the user interface, only you need to give the particular materials information, parameter, its thickness, its refractive index, optical value, semiconducting value, and electrical Wissing parameters and absorption parameter that you need to put in the user interface. Software will automatically do the calculations, depth diffusion equations, optical equations, rate tracing calculations will automatically be run in the background, and you will get your electrical and optical properties. So that's why whatever the you see the user interface here, this is a layer structure, and according to that, whatever the energy levels, Venn diagrams, or charge concentration, electrical field, potential, recombination, that will automatically predicted after the calculations. So user interface is basically where you can click and select particular materials and set the parameter. And instead of you have no need to write any script. So this is very simple and easy to use. Anybody can learn within maximum 1 week. It will be, you can become an expert in understanding of the softwares. Now, basically, when you use some particular software, so why you should prefer that software? Because whatever the experimental things you do, you can also do in the simulations, where you can set the optical material parameter, electrical material parameter. Suppose you want to perform a perovskite solar cell or tandem solar cell or any inorganic or organic solar cell. You have to define the material parameters. Suppose you want to take a P3HT, PCBM, P.PSS, Spiro, Omedot, perovskite materials, or electrode materials like aluminum, C60 fullerene, or silver material. Whatever the materials you would like to use, you have to define its property. So we have this very good user interface where you can select, you can define the optical properties in our refractive index tab. So there are 3 ways where you can define the constant refractive index optical materials, NK value, that is refractive index of particular material. So you can set the NK value, or if the material is wire fringent, where quantum dot wire fringent or any extraordinary material is there. So you can also define the N naught, K naught, and any Ke value, that is for wire fringence. And if particular material is dependent on the wavelength, suppose you want to define a semiconducting material, ITO, or any other materials, perovskite materials, electrotype, or whatever materials you want to use the optical property, then wavelength and NK value that you can set in the one particular file, and directly that file you can import in this SATFOS software. So either you can define the constant value, or you can define some parameter dependent value of particular material. So optical material along with electrical materials such as doping and dielectric constant, homo-lumo value, mobilities, or anion lifetime, quenching, or excitomes parameters that you can also set in our material parameter database. So we have user defined material database as well as software. SetForce software own database is there. So you can also use the materials database from the library itself. Now let me discuss about module that is available inside this SetForce, and using that modules you can predict the properties of solar cell devices. This SetForce comes with 4 modules. First one is called, you can see, a absorption module. In the absorption module, like you can define your layer, either it is a coherent layer, incoherent layers, incoupling, outcoupling, or absorption profile for particular materials. Suppose you want to define a sun spectrum, that is like air mass 0, air mass 1.5, global spectrum, direct spectrums. So that sun spectrums that can become convert the diode into the solar cell. That's why you can put the sunlight spectrum using this absorption module. For optical property calculation, this absorption module is very useful. Now, if you discuss about a drift diffusion module, this is basically to define the physical models. So whatever physical models and electrical properties can be calculated using this drift diffusion. It will solve the equations, drift diffusion equations in the background, and electrical property will be calculated like ISC, BOC, fill factor, quantum efficiency, power conversion efficiency, that will be calculated using this drift diffusion signals. You can define the electronic charge, excitons, ionic charge profiles, traps, SRH recombinations, and you can perform the DC analysis, AC analysis, transient simulations, hopping between the different interface for tandem devices, like multiple layers are there, and that layers will become an interface. So that interface properties can also be specified in this drift diffusion models. So these are 2 basic models that is required for solar cell simulations. And if you also want to perform the ray tracing in analysis, like scatterings, Fourier ray tracing analysis, particles, nanoparticle effect on your device, quantum dot solar cell you want to simulate, or some birefringence materials, nanoparticle scattering, or some stack you want to include, some textured surface, or some whatever advanced models you want to include that can enhance the efficiency of your solar cell, then this advanced optics models are required. So minimum 2 modules are required to perform the solar cell, and this maximum 3 modules are required for any photovoltaic devices. This is very relevant or very useful models that can predict your or enhance your solar cell efficiency. Now there is one more module that is called emission module, that is basically for emissive property of LED devices, where you can check the electroluminance and photoluminance of LED devices applications. So LEDs and solar cell both can be simulated using this SetForce. Now let me discuss each module one by one, and after this presentation, half-an-hour presentation, we will go for the demonstration where I will try to show you the software. We will try to do some modeling. We will design some solar cell in front of you, and we will calculate, we will define some parameters like electrical parameter, physical parameters, semiconducting parameters, optical parameter we will set in the user interface of software, and then we will do the simulations and calculate the electrical and optical properties. So after this presentation, we will have a specific demonstration session as well. Now let me discuss to the module. The first module is called the drift diffusion module. That is a basic module to calculate the electrical properties. As you know, once you define the solar cell, you also need to calculate the IP characteristics. That's why this drift diffusion module will calculate the electrical properties, ISC, BOC, fill factor, quantum efficiency, power conversion efficiency, electrical field, charge concentration, recombination zones, potentials of solar cell device can be calculated. Along with that, you can also calculate the impedance analysis, impedance spectroscopy analysis, and transient simulations, along with DC analysis and AC analysis. It contains the state-of-art mobility model is implemented, like organic mobility model, that is called Poulet-Frankel mobility model, constant mobility model, field dependent mobility model, field and temperature dependent, extended Gaussian disordered and correlated disordered, charge density dependent mobility models. So whatever the mobilities can enhance the efficiency of your solar cell, you can use that particular mobility model and you can set the parameter. Along with that, you can define the conductive doping, N-type doping, P-type doping, and you can define its concentrations and charge trapping, trap recombination, SRH recombinations, and traps and exponential traps, density of state traps can be specified. Injection property of the contact, excitone recombinations, electron hole pairs for the excitone generations, quenching, diffusions, roll of diffusion. It's a fully coupled with optical and electrical absorption simulations. So drift diffusion model is coupled with absorption so that electrical and optical property can be calculated simultaneously. And it also provides you the ionic contributions. Ionic contribution is like mobile anions and cations. So that anion and cations are very relevant and important for perovskite based solar cell. So it also includes that perovskite anion and cation and ionic contribution effect, and hysteresis effect is also there that can be studied for that for ionic contributions and light emitting electrochemical cells. These are some key graphs which you can visualize here. That is plotted current versus voltage graph under different conditions. Like you can swap a particular parameter. Like if you want to plot current versus voltage graph under different wavelength conditions, temperature conditions, or different thickness parameters, NK values, any parameter, electrical, optical, you can swap, and that swapping functions can do the calculation on each and every step so that multiple batch script simulations you can perform to get a single click with multiple output. And you can perform the charge density analysis, Venn diagram, and other potentials in the user interface. Now, the main thing is that when you do the modelings and you would like to get a highest efficiency, then you should have good models and your software should support good physical models that can boost the efficiency of your device. We have very good physical models are there that can improve the conductivity and influence the charge transport. So doping methods are there that can define the N-type, P-type, acceptor, donor doping that can improve the conductivity in the semiconductor. Traps models are there that can influence the charge transport, and deep traps can also be defined as a SRH recombination by the SRH, where permanent polarity of charge transport layer can effectively improve the injections. So this drift diffusion can reproduce you and quantify and influence the different effect, and you can compare the simulated and experimental characteristics of the device. Like this is some layer structure where electron transport layer, hole transport layer, MAMPI perovskite layers, and whatever the materials are there, at the interface regions, negative and positive charge carriers will be generated. So that charge transport models are there that can generate the electron hole pairs to improve the conductivity. So we have this very good physical models, and along with mobile ions models are there that can play a major role in the electrical behaviors and of perovskite solar cell. It can simulate the effect of anion cations, fully steady state simulation, transient simulation, device operation from electronic and ion charge profiles, simulation of hysteresis and perovskite photovoltaic, and understand the effect of given pre-bias or different ramp rate, like different temperature conditions, how the variations will be done. Like this is some current versus voltage graph with SRH recombination and without SRH recombinations. So very simple how we can improve by different physical models that is implemented in the short course, and that can improve the electrical and optical property characteristics. Now next model is called interface models. That is basically when you design the solar cell, you do the modeling, and if you have multiple layers, like if 5 semiconducting layer, 10 semiconducting layer, or 15, 20, 30 semiconducting layer. So you each and every layer is having some interface. and that interface can generate the charge transport electron hole pairs. So electron hole pairs can be generated through the charge transport models. So we have just included this charge generation and recombination at the interface regions. That is a key operation for the solar cell. It can describe the interconnections between the subcell for multi-junction devices. If multiple junctions are there, each junction have connected with different layers, and that layers will generate some charge carriers. So that charge transport model are there that can generate the charge carrier hopping between the different states at the interface. HUMO-LUMO value you can specify. Injection layer modeling, charge generation layer modeling, consider the HUMO-LUMO value, and it consistently electrical modeling of solar cell, including the recombinations. Like this is an anode layer and cathode layer. In between that, there is high index layer, hole transport layer, emissive layer, electron transport layer, and EIL layers are there. Each layers are connecting, and which layer will generate the photons that you can study. So you can simulate the organic hybrid multi-junction tandem perovskite silicon solar cell, and electrical couplings can be done, like charge can be generated by the charge coupling, excitone coupling, interface charge coupling. So this charge coupling to generate the electron hole pair, and excitone coupling to excite the charge pair, that is called excitone. And interface charge coupling models are there that can to charge carrier interface between the two materials. So you can select why either you would like to use the interface or you want to simply do the electron hole pair generations or excitones. Accordingly, you can plot the energy levels with relative to the positions. So that's why physical models and charge transport models are there. This is all about drift diffusion model, where what electrical parameters you can calculate and what physical models you can define. So once you calculate the electrical parameter, if you would like to calculate the optical properties also, then this absorption module is very important. This absorption module of SATFOS will basically use the transfer matrix for fast calculations. Using this module, you can optimize or you can maximize the light absorption in the device. You can optimize different layer thickness. You can swap one particular range of thickness or a particular wavelength range and adjust and match IAC, BOC, fill factor, power conversion efficiency of any solar cell. And it can also compute the absorption in each specific layer. Suppose there is a perovskite layer. You would like to get how much absorption rate is there in your perovskite semiconducting layer. So each layer it can compute the absorption. So particular layers, optical properties along with total device absorption you can plot using this absorption module. Along with that, there is some reflectance, transmittance, absorption spectra, angular dependence, polarizations, penetrations by the external light, like you can put the illuminations, air mass 0, air mass 1.5, global spectrum, direct spectrums, that sunlight spectrums or any other specific wavelength. Suppose you know the intensity and wavelength, and that intensity, wavelength, sun spectrum you would like to use, then definitely it is also possible where external light you can also illuminate. And there is possible that light scatterings in mixed, coherent, incoherent layer stack you can define, stacking between the layers, calculation of maximum power point, or that is also coupled with electrical simulations. So this absorption model is make a interface or combination with drift diffusion, so that optical and electrical property can be plotted simultaneously. These are some key graphs, charge density analysis, where simulation results and experimental results. This is 2020 paper from IIT BHU. They have published this paper in Elsevier Journal, where they have found the experimental results, fabrication results, and simulation results using SATFOS are near to the 99-98% accurate. That's why theory is based on prediction, and you can prefer the simulations first, then you can perform the fabrication, and you can validate your research with this SATFOS. So that's why you can find how much reliable we are in terms of experimental and simulations, that we can justify from the research paper in good journals. Now there is one more module that is basically emission modules. So let me briefly explain about this emission module. This is basically for LED devices where multiple emitter layers or emission property you would like to get, extraction of emission zone, source spectrums, or emitted or radiative power, top and bottom emissions, dipole emission model, incoherent interface, roughness parameters, CIE color diagrams, or radiance, electroluminance, photoluminance, absorption spectra, polarization optics. For that purpose, this emission module is very useful, where emission property along with electrical and optical property can be calculated, and you can vary the all parameter of emission like lifetime or photoluminance, electroluminance parameter can also vary for this emission property analysis. Now next final module is called advanced optics module, or you can say scattering modules. This module is basically a very advanced module that will use basically a ray tracing or wave optics models. So drift diffusion, ray tracing or wave optics models is also there. So whatever the non-flat structure, suppose your solar cell top layer is non-flat. You would like to define some truncated or some textured surface. So due to this textured surface, whenever the light, sun input light put on the solar cell, then it will not get reflect back in the environment totally. It will get absorb, refract, then again absorb. So some part will get to maximize the absorption rate. So that's why this scattering or textured surface we will include in our device formations. So this interface roughness parameter, interface scattering by the external or air interface or internal in the layer stacking. These are some scattering. Some scattering you can see in the waves that will once the sunlight input or import the AFM, BSDF experimental data in text format you can include. So you can include this text data here and you can simulate the micro lenses. Suppose you want to send the micro lenses LED or solar cell and texturing by the ray tracing, simulate using the geometrics, physical wave optics methods, interface roughness parameters, scattering by particle, Gaussian monodispersion parameter, polydispersion parameter, radius, refractive index parameter. By different scattering parameters are there. Lombardian, Pong, Gaussian, Fourier, 3D ray tracings, and RMS settings you can define like roughness of the interface to calculate the haze, top and bottom diffusion length, and you can also define the effective medium approximation parameter like Drude model, Lorentz models. So that electrical parameters, optical parameter, you can set the Drude model, Lorentz models, and some other models are there for effective mediums approximation and analytical dispersion that is shown in the screen. Now what properties you can calculate using this set forth, that is major important. This is a very broad software where all electrical and optical property you can calculate and you can validate. So DC analysis, transient simulations, and very good physical models, organic perovskite, tandem, hybrid, silicon perovskite, and organic solar cell and LED device can be simulated. You can see on the screen, these are the major property which can be calculated using this set forth, like electrical band diagram, charge density, current plot, electrical field, electrical current, electrical density, mobilities, optical generation, whole current, potential, recombination, absorption profile, and current versus voltage analysis, current balance, built-in voltage, power conversion efficiency, power density analysis, and spectral properties, absorptance, layer specific absorptance, reflectance, transmittance, external quantum efficiency, photocurrent analysis, stack contributions, and absorption rate, leftward, rightward phase, and some AC analysis can also be performed with that, mobility, and some impedance analysis can also be performed with that, which is not seen for the LED devices. These all are for photovoltaic devices. which is majorly cover up using for that SATFOS. Now let me go to the platform supported. This SATFOS is basically can work on Windows and Linux operating systems. So Windows 7, 8 and 10, anyone is there. And Linux and so Ubuntu and CentOS operating system, it can work properly. And minimum 8 GB RAM is required or recommended with 100 GB hard disk and multi-parallel processing. So you can software is very optimized and you can run the job on multiple cores or multiple nodes so that you can get a very fast in the calculations. You have no need to do the optimization. Normal workstation can also do the calculations, and you can also get the trial version for SATFOS and Laos, both the software, for 1 month free evaluations. So those who are really interested and would like to use this software and how it can save your money, time, materials before doing through the fabrication, then virtually you can perform the simulation and you can predict the properties, reliable properties, and you can get the expected results using that software. Now we have some many scientific videos and publication link. Once you visit our website fluxim.com, you will find many of the publication paper in renowned journal, and some video links will also be there. So you can watch the videos from the YouTube and learn more about this capability and boost your solar cell efficiency. Now there are few advantages I am showing here, but once you will evaluate or once you will go in details of the software, you will find a lot of example, but few of them I am showing here. This SATFOS is basically provide an unlimited semiconducting layer. Suppose you will define multiple layers, 8 layers, 10 layers, 15 layers semiconducting, then or multiple emitters or optical layers you can set. So that's why unlimited semiconducting layers along with transient simulations, DC analysis, AC analysis, transient simulations is specific for absorption where particular layers optical property you can calculate, and total device absorption you can calculate, and software update regularly. Whatever the new features are coming, new research in the industries are there, that will automatically update in the new versions. Every year new versions come, so that latest technology you can also get from our technical teams, and we have a support from our local Indian team as well as from our developer. Main developer of the software can also help you. Once you officially purchase this software, we can also provide you the support, or you can also get a chance to interact with our developer in the Switzerland. It provides the mobile ionic charge carrier profiles that is relevant for perovskite solar cell, anion and cations, and hysteresis effect, and roughness parameters, interface parameters, import AFM and VHDF data, emission module for OLED simulations. Software is very optimized. It is very fast in the calculation and easy to use interface. Once you will use the software, you will not find any difficulty because you have a very good interface and you need to put the value in the user interface. Instead of writing any script or coding is not necessary to learn. And it supports Windows and Linux operating system along with Quantum Dot Solar Cell. But many of them will also be there, which is not shown here on the screen. We are also arranging one more webinar in the next week, that is on 8th July. So if somebody or students or anybody want to join our 8th July webinar, there we will also explore more technical facility or whatever today we will not shown to you, that can also be given on 8th Jan. So you can contact to me for any registrations or to join this webinar, which is we are scheduling on 8th July from 11:30 to 1 p.m. So we have already Google Meet and registration link that is already scheduled. So please contact to me. I will share you my details here. So this is only a presentation that what you can do inside the software and what is necessary. Now I will also give you my information so that you can also contact to me. So I can show you my first slide. where you can note down my contact information, and you can contact to me for our upcoming webinar, and you can do the registration and contact to me on this future requirement. So here on the screen you can see my mobile number and email ID. I request you, those who are interested, please drop an email to us or message us so that I can help you in your photovoltaic device modeling and simulations. Now after this presentation, I will also do the try to do some modelings in front of you. Solar cell, we will do the model and we will set some parameters and we will calculate the electrical and optical parameters today. Now let me open the software here. I need to switch my video so I can open the software so that I can demonstrate you properly. So this is SatFOS software. I click on run as an administrator to open my user interface. Now I hope my user interface SatFOS is visualized to the participants.
Yes, you can see that. Yeah.
Fine, great. So this SatFOS is opened here. Now you can find this is a very user interface. You can find only you need to put the select the material, puts its parameters and calculate the result. This is simple step. You have no need to learn any Python, any other scripting is not necessary, or any language is not necessary to learn here. So that's why we have make a very good user interface. Now, first of all, if you are the beginners, then how you can get the help to understand the software, that we have also very good manuals and tutorials. So you can see here, this is manuals and tutorial page. So if you would like to perform any tutorials for perovskite and how you can like if you are already working experimentally, then you may be difficult for you to learn the software. But here we have made a very good tutorials. So you can do the perform this tutorial easily, and you can do the solar cell modeling. Like here, these are some P3HT PCBM solar cell is designed here, and how you can calculate that is also well explained. And in that, if you are not able to perform the tutorial properly, then you can also get a chance to interact with us. We can help you to do the modelings and to solve your queries or problems. So tutorial is just to perform the learn the software capability. But if you would like to get the physical quantity or physical equations, background equations that is being used in the calculation, then you can also see. So physical model, physical quantities, whatever implemented in the SatFOS, that you can also visualize. Like here, whatever the transfer matrix or multiple layer scattering parameters. So each and every equations, once you go through this manual, you can also get to know that what equations are running, what equations you are doing in the calculations, or what optical parameters, electrical parameters, Gaussian parameters, micro texturing parameters, each and every model's descriptions is also there in the manual page. And according to that, whatever experimental you do, same equations or same reference you can also get, so that you can see how the experimental validations with simulations can be predicted. Okay, this is just for helping purpose only for that tutorial and manual. Now, if you would like to define or do the modelings, instead of referring to the manuals and tutorials, we have example library. In the left of the screen, you can find this is a example library. So already existing library are there for the example that you can find, and you can also go through it and you can perform or use existing one, so that you can see which materials are used, how many layers are used, and what parameters are settled defined for particular layer. All layers with all materials are there. Like since you are working on solar cell, so these all are solar cell example, where ITO, amorphous silicon layers, multicrystalline, intrinsic, p-type, n-type silicon layers, all coupled excitone layers, solar cell with EQU, intensity modulated photospectroscopy, light scattering, all layers are there. Okay, and the screen which you would like, that is very attractive. Now let me try to build you one solar cell instead of using an existing example, so that you can learn how within few minutes you can draw the solar cell here in the set first. So let me make a new project. I can click on file and I can click on new. Just click on new. This temp file will be generated. So today at 3 p.m. 37 minutes, we are generating this temporary.parx. This is temporary project is a name. Here you can rename your project. Suppose you want to define solar. I can give the name of my solar cell. Okay. Suppose solar is the name of my project only. So now it will reach according to the sequence. So sequentially it has reached to in this positions. Okay. Here automatically by default you can find there are 3 layers: surrounding, unnamed, and substrate. This is a layer name and this is a thickness. Suppose you want to define multiple layers. There are 3 by default layers are there, but you would like to add more layer. Then there is an option called add layer. Plus sign is there. You can click on add. This unnamed layer is added, where we have not defined any specific material. So how many layers you would like to use, that you need to click and you can add. Suppose I would like to my solar cell device have 5 layer, 6 layer, or 7 layer. Similarly, you can select the add layer. If you would like to delete particular layer, you can click on delete or change the layer positions like that. Or you can change this duplicate or replace particular layers or duplicate particular layers or interface in particular layers. This will enable the interface in particular layer modeling. But let me discuss about layer interface again later on. But first of all, I will try to draw the simple solar cell. So these are 3 layers. I would like to add more layer here. This is my layer information. In the right of the screen, you will find the layer structure. This is a layer structure. Whatever the layer name is there, it will show in the right of the screen. And in the middle of that, there is thickness option, where you can set the thickness. Suppose your first top layer is there, that is called air, which is transparent layer, only transparent without thickness. So I can suppose this is my layer of air on the top, where I can set the refractive index, that is optical value, NK value of particular material. So for air, my refractive index is 0 or 1. Suppose my refractive index n equal to 1 and k equal to 0. This is a preview of real and imaginary part with respect to the wavelength for this air. So we have defined the constant value of this air here, that is n equal to 1, and it is optically coherent. We have selected by default, it is optically coherent layer. So you can define either it is coherent or incoherent or transparent, isotropic or scattering. You can select what type of layer you are using. Okay, you can like hide particular layer structure if you are not visualizing. Now second one is layer that we have, that is called a glass layer. This is glass layer that we are using here, and this is our thickness. Thickness we can set in nanometer, micrometer, millimeter, or wavelength specific. So these are units that we can set here. So 10 nanometer is the thickness of my glass layer, and we can set the refractive index of this particular glass layer. So I'm putting here 1.5 constant value for this glass. Accordingly, the name of particular layer will be changed. Now third layer is there that we can call as a ITO. ITO is a top layer and we can define its thickness. This is in the nanometer. Now here, suppose my ITO refractive index is not constant. It is dependent on the wavelength. Then what we need to do? We need to click on this refractive index tab and we need to click on file. Once we click on file, this import option will be activated. This activate will show you the will go through the redirect you to the library of the material. So here what I'm doing here, I'm importing the refractive index of ITO from my database. This is a database of my materials here. Mostly all materials you can find inside the software. So I need to select ITO here from the database. So I need to go to the I section and this is my ITO. We have multiple variation of ITO material refractive index that you can find. All electrical material for their ITO as well as optical material. So I select this ITO.nk. Now once I selected this particular layer, you can find the real and imaginary part. So this is real with respect to the wavelength. First is wavelength, second is real and imaginary. Let me disable the structures for the time being. This is enable and disable the structure. And I can click on the edit button. This is an edit button to edit the existing material. So existing material property you can also edit or you can use the existing material. So there is one thing, either you can use a default material parameter or if you would like to edit the optical existing material, then it is also possible to edit it. So you can add it either in the user interface. This is user interface value where manually you can change this value. So this is the first column is wavelength, second one is N and third one is K. So this is called refractive index for NK value. So it is in the script format and it is in the graphical format. So graphical format, script format, both are same. Either you can type in the script or you can type in the user interface. Both possibilities are there. So what I told you, either you can edit the existing material or you can use the existing materials. And you can also export your, suppose you have edited the material from this section. And once edited the material, if you would like to export it for future use, then you can export that particular material and you can save this NK file for future reference and you can use that particular material for your next device modeling. So that's why this is a very, very good options. Or there is an option called new. This new basically where you can create the new material. Instead of importing or editing, you would like to create a new material. Then this is new section where you can create the new material here. Now ITO material I have taken from the library and I have defined its thickness. Now next material which I have, that is called a P dot. Suppose I would like to use a P dot material. So I can give the name for my understanding. So accordingly the naming of this material is changing in the right of the screen. And I can give the thickness and suppose and thickness will also be changed accordingly. Now thickness I change here, that is called 110 and I need to import the again refractive index. I click on file and click on import. So I am importing from the database that is called p.pss material refractive index. I will simply go to the p dot here and here I will find the p dot material refractive index. Now this is P dot material. We have multiple combination of P dot material value. So you can choose which material is better for your device. So suppose I imported this material and it is giving the reference from where this material is taken. So this data is taken from HC track for this P dot, where the P dot PSS percentage is 1:6 and resistivity is equal to 500 and 5000 ohm centimeter. This is the P dot material reference that is taken from there. Now I have set the thickness and its refractive index. Now I need to activate my model, that is absorption module is very important. I activated from this sign, and from this batteries also I need to activate it. So this is battery where you can enable the dip to diffusion module, and this sun signal will enable the absorption module. Once you will activate these two modules, now this will enable this refractive index tab, where you can set this layer as a electrode type. So I would like to use this P dot layer as a electrode type, as a top electrode. Ground will automatically change once I will change this bottom layer. So initially we are using this as an electrode. So here in the electrode you can define either you would like to use a ohmic type or thermonic type, or what kind of electrode you would like to have. So I would like to use this thermonic type, suppose thermonic type electrode, and with work function I need to specify. So work function, or if you want to use a ohmic type, then you need to set the electron density or hole density. And for thermonic only you need to define the work function. So I am defining here work function, suppose 5 electron volt. So this is my 5 electron volt, that is a electrode thermonic work function. And next layer is called, that is called semiconducting layer, which we will use here. Suppose we take a P3HT PCBM. This is my semiconducting material. So I can select this layer is called a semiconducting layer. Once I will enable this, here energy level will come. So this energy level tab will automatically come with this electrode and semiconducting tab. In this P3HT PCBM, my thickness is 100 nanometer, and refractive index I also need to select from my database. So I click on file and click on import, where I can select here from the database. This is my database. Now P3HT PCBM.NK refractive index I selected, and it is giving the reference. By this reference, as you can see in this section, by this reference the data is taken. So this is showing the reference of particular polymer based P3HT PCBM blend material reference by this volume. So solar energy material and solar cell volume 2007. From there this refractive index is taken, where you can visualize the preview section of real and imaginary part. Now I have set the refractive index and set is as a semiconducting. Now I also need to define the property of semiconducting material. In that I need to set the charge, exciton, traps, mobile ions. This will be activated only for the semiconducting tab. Like for perovskite, this P dot layer, there is no semiconducting tab in this section, but only for P3HT there is semiconducting tab that will automatically enable for that particular semiconducting material. Now here for semiconducting I need to set the energy levels. This is a HUMO-LUMO energy levels that I can set here. So in the electron volt HUMO-LUMO charges you can set, and you can set the N0 concentrations, dielectric constant you can set, and define the enable the doping. If you would like to enable the acceptor doping, donor doping, you can activate it and you can set the concentration. If the value of a particular acceptor donor doping is dependent on wavelength or other parameter, then you can define particular file format and you can import that file here. So that's why this file option is there, where you can import the file from the browse the file. You can browse the file for doping. So N doping, P doping you can do from this section. Now, if you would like to define some other optical parameter like optical generation efficiency, then you can set language recombination efficiency. Then also you can set here, and this is a mobility models that you can also define. So as I told in the presentation, we have a constant mobility models, field dependent mobility models, temperature dependent, extended Gaussian, correlated, only field dependent, field temperature dependent. These all are mobility model where you can define the gamma, sigma, tau, beta, alpha, all parameter, electron and hole parameter you can set, as you can see. So Gaussian models are there, and suppose in the constant models you want to define the electron mobility here. So suppose I would like to change this unit, so I can define here 0.001 suppose, and I can set here the unit as well in centimeter square per volt second. Similarly for holes I can also manually change the mobility and units as well, and this is my centimeter square per second. Now I have defined this semiconducting layer property. Okay, so this is simply user interface. Next one is called excitones. In the excitone, you can enable the excitone here. If you would like to enable the excitone, then you can click on add button, and this will enable the radiative, non-radiative, diffusion constant, saturation, triplet interaction, optical generation efficiency, charge transfer, Onsager-Brown medals. These all are for excitone profile. And similarly, these are for trap analysis. You can enable the traps by clicking on this checkbox. Enable the SRH recombination for this particular material, trap recombination, exponential density of state, Gaussian density of state traps analysis. And you can set the trap density, trap energy depth, electron capture rate, hole capture rate. This is for trap analysis. And next one is called mobile ions. For perovskite solar cell, if you would like to define the anion and cations, then you can enable it and define the static mobility model based anions or field dependent mobility based anions or field temperature dependent. What kind of mobile anions that you can specify by clicking on this checkbox. Now this is basically only I need to specify the charge section. Now next layer which I have, that is called my bottom electrode, which I can take here, is called aluminum. In the aluminum, suppose my thickness is 100 nanometer, I can set this layer as a electrode type. Now you can see here the signal has been changed. It was previously there, now it is, you can see here there is a battery sign and ground signals are there. So this is electrode, this is semiconducting, and this is again electrode. Here I need to set the work function. So I can set for aluminum suppose 4.3. So this is work function. And now next layer is there, which can be taken as a substrate layer only for naming only, but it will no sense. This is coherent layer that we can define. Transparent layer without any thickness. This is only transparent. And we can set the refractive index, suppose 1, constant value. And for aluminum, we need to import the refractive index for particular material. So click on import and click on aluminum. and this is aluminum refractive index. And for perovskite layer, this is a one particular folder where all perovskite layers material you can find: CH3, NH3, PBL3, PBBr3, MAPI perovskite. All reference are there. Any material for perovskite that can also be used. So initially I am not taking any perovskite, but later on we can also take the perovskite as well. So this is my aluminum material where I can select the aluminum material refractive index. I can click on NK and click on open. Now it is opened here, and this is status is showing OK. Now everything is OK. Your modeling is done. You can see the layer structure and energy levels. Now whatever the material we are using here, air, glass, ITO, PDOT, P3HT, PCBM, aluminum, all things with their thickness is showing in this screen, and this is energy levels. Now main thing is that now absorption and drip diffusion. So this is absorption setting where you can put the sunlight. In the sunlight, suppose you want to use a swept wavelength, air mass 0, air mass 1.5, global spectrums, direct spectrums, then this is wavelength or energy. Energy spectral or wavelength spectral, you can sweep this. This is a range of wavelength you can specify, and this is illumination spectrum. Either you can use a single wavelength or you can use a sweep wavelength. So sweeping plus single wavelength, both functionality are there. So here we are, suppose this is 382 to 780 nanometer, and sun spectrum, you can click on this import. These all are illumination spectrum file. Here you can see it is not NK file, it is illumination spectrum file, sun spectrum file. So you can import here. And these are air mass 0, air mass 1.5 with specific PIO software, sun spectrum, wavelength, excitance, blue LED spectrum, or direct spectrums. Anyone you can use, and you can see the spectrum profile. Like this is air mass 1.5 spectrum, and wavelength and intensity you can visualize in this screen. So this is preview for wavelength and intensity with a reference. So everything whatever used inside the software, that is given with particular reference, so that you can get the reliable results. So at what degree tilt this spectrum is taken, that can be seen. So any specific wavelength, you can also put the sun spectrum in your solar cell. Now if I use a single wavelength spectrum, then you can define a single wavelength, and you can define suppose 500 wavelength, and you can define this unit. So here it is saying only 500 nanometer wavelength you would like to use this spectrum. And this is electrical charge coupling. You can enable the coupling by clicking on this enable on this electrical coupling section. So there are three options: charge coupling, excitone coupling, and interface charge coupling. So particular two material interface if you would like to draw, then this charge coupling is there. So couple the photon absorption profile from absorption characteristics. Charge coupling to charge carrier electron hole pair generation, excited charge pair profile for excitones, and interface charge coupling for two materials interface region. I enable this charge coupling. Now absorption modules, all property we have settled. Now next one is called drip diffusion. So in the drip diffusion, you need to apply the Wissing, temperature, trapping for whole device, excitone, doping, mobile ions, enforce global mobilities, or you can also attach the electrical circuits. So mixed mode with this device simulations can be performed. So series resistance, parallel resistance, lateral resistance, device resistance, parallel capacitance. You can define all these electrical circuits you can attach with your solar cell, and you can perform the device along with electrical circuit simulations. Okay. Initially, I am not attaching here and not applying Wissing, but forward and reverse Wissing you can apply here by putting the negative, suppose negative 0.4, negative 0.7 on top or bottom electrode. You can set here. Either you want to put by default top electrode or bottom electrode. That's why you can put, and similarly for temperature, what will be the effect that you can see. There are various other options in the drift diffusion. Suppose you want to perform the steady state simulation, transient simulations, AC impedance analysis simulations, then you can simulate the transient, where transient mode will be there, transient solvers, different transient solvers are there. So with respect to the time, how will be the variations in your characteristics with electrical, optical, different solvers are there that can predict the accurate properties. And different transient modes are there that can preview the illumination spectrum. Similarly, for AC impedance analysis, where you can swap the frequency per particular range. So impedance analysis can also be performed. Initially, I am doing the steady state only. Now we have already defined all the parameter. Now one more point is called swap. Swap is basically to swap one range of parameter. Suppose you want to plot the IV current versus voltage graph with a variation of voltage rising from -1 to 1 volt. You would like to vary the voltage rising, and how with respect to the voltage that current will vary. That's why this swapping function is very time saving, because you can do the calculation on each and every steps, every rising from -1.5 to 1.5, like you would like to get at -1, -0.5, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 2.3, something like that. You can enable the swapping. So what parameter? Wavelength, N, K, thickness, and all electrical and optical. Like here, you can see. You can swap the incident angle, you can swap the wavelength, intensity scaling, effective refractive index, energy, or electrical circuits parameter, voltage, device, area you can also vary. So by these variations you can see that. So temperature variation, ramp rating, initial parameter, or layer specific. Suppose air thickness you would like to vary, or glass thickness, or your semiconducting layer thickness. Thickness you would like to vary from 100 nanometer to 150 nanometer. And what will be the variation of thickness, which thickness, how much thickness you should use for your device. So that's why this swapping is important, where multiple simulations can be done under different conditions. Like suppose I swap here the wavelength. So here I can select the wavelength here, and linearly you would like to swap, or logarithmic, or particular value you can also put, so that instead of doing the swapping in a range, you can perform on particular point, you can do the swapping. Now here you can also define the range. So suppose I define the range from wavelength from 300 to 800. This is my swapping wavelength range, and I can define the step size. At every 2 step size, nanometer step size, it will print the output. Now it is ready. Now now solar cell modeling is completed. We have defined the layer structure, imported the refractive index, electrode parameter we have settled, and semiconducting parameter we have settled. Absorption sun spectrum we have also specified, and drift diffusion parameter we have specified. Now let me go to the simulations. So here you need to click on this run button to start the simulation. So I click on it. Now calculation is done. 1 minute. I can also do in this output setting. You can also generate the HTML report. So this HTML report will generate you the output, and you can also export your output in spectral, optical, or BHDF data. Now let me click on run simulation. So this is running the simulation where 100% it is calculated. My system is very fast, in running the job. So within 1 minute or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it will not take much time to get your simulation. It is very fast since algorithm is optimized. Now you can see the current versus voltage graph. You can click on this current. Now this is IB with respect. This is not IB. This is current with respect to the wavelength. We have not applied the Vicing. We have swept the wavelength. So from 300 to 800 nanometer, how the current will be swept, that you can understand here. So this is swapping is doing here with respect to the wavelength. So anode current, anode current, cathode current, or recombination current, that reference is giving here. Now other property, if you would like to plot, like suppose band diagram. This is band diagram. I click on that. Here there are 4 options: LUMO, HUMO, energy reference N type, energy reference P type. And this is a range swapping. Now here the wavelength is swapping. How this band is swapping with respect to the wavelength? Every 2 step, since I have defined a 2-step point. So every 2 step, how this wavelength is changing, that is showing here. If you will define the multiple steps, you can also swap. This is automatically changing. This is playing the video like that. So what will be the effect of wavelength now? You can see by this wavelength range, from this wavelength 590, approx 590, how this parameters for the band is swapping, changing with respect to, and from 590 to 630 something, the wavelength Fermi rivers are changing. So this is only for wavelength, but any other parameter, either you can take this charge density, even though the charge density analysis also, it is automatically predicting or changing the swapping the functions. So wavelength is swapping, changing, and parameter charge density changing according to specific. So wavelength, current, thickness, any electrical optic parameter you can swap. Similarly for electrical field, like this is for electrical field, and you can play it. Now see, you can see here how with respect to the wavelength electrical field is changing, and you can see the results. Now other parameter, if you would like to change optical generations, then this is optical generation profile. So P3H layer specific in semiconducting layers and which wavelength you can see here. That's why software is very good. If anybody is not able to perform the experimental, then you can also see. And this is in the user interface. You can also visualize the optical generations or charge density or other current plot in this checkboard or multi-curve. Multi-curve checkboard form, you can plot this electrical current, mobilities, optical generation, or other potential analysis also. This is potential analysis curve, recombination curve. So you can see here. Now, if you would like to import your experimental data and you would like to compare it with this simulation one, then any text format you can import the data here. So import it and compare it. Now, if you would like to change the X grade, Y grade, or annotations, or you would like to save your results in standard format, then there is an option called save image. You can save the image in PNG, JPG, PDF, any format. You can save your results with the highest accuracy. Pixels, highest pixel, you can save your data here. You can give the name and click on save. Your data will be saved. And similarly, if you would like to save your visible data in text format, this is for text dat file. You can also save your data in text or dat file. Now I save these data. It will be there on my screen. Now it is there on my desktop screen. Data will be saved. Now this is simple modeling that we have done and calculated results. Now and if you would like to check the results in HTML, you can click on open HTML, and this is the output. Whatever the input you have given and whatever the output are there, this is the layer structure that we have used, that I have drawn today. So its layer specific name, its thickness, refractive index, input parameter, swapping parameter is showing here, and these are all output files output that is predicting in HTML format. So current balance, whatever the output you would like to see, that can also be shown in the in one go. These all are outputs, and this is absorptance, reflectance, transmittance, relative contributions. This is reflectance output, and this is transmittance. Absorption spectra, photocurrent. Suppose you want to check the photocurrent. So this is a photocurrent analysis. And this is a quantum efficiency, external quantum efficiency analysis, and wavelength specific, and residuums or other parameters that you can plot in the HTML report. So HTML report will automatically be generated. All results will automatically be generated. Now, if you would like to check other parameters like external quantum efficiency here, then you can also plot the external quantum efficiency, and you can save your results, copy with a lot of other options. Photocurrent analysis you can also do. This is photocurrent analysis, stack contributions, or here you can plot the absorptance, layer absorptance, particular layer, ITO layer, P dot layer, P3HT, PCBM layers. All layer absorptance is showing here like that. Now this is one thing I have show you the modeling or particular solar cell. And this is layer structure. You can draw anything here. Now if you would like to create 1 minute. Now here, this is one thing that I have do the modeling of solar cell and show you some output. Now there are a lot of other example is there. Suppose you would like to simulate a perovskite solar cell. So we have this perovskite IB example where they have used we have used 100 nanometer air on the top with the glass 0.5 millimeter unit ITO layer. This is whole transport layer, perovskite layer, C60 fullerene layers, and air layers. This is layer structure, and this is energy levels. And here we are using the sun spectrum swapping. We are swapping the wavelength from 380 to 780 nanometer, and this is the spectrum for this perovskite. And drift diffusion, where we are putting the 0.5 nanometer 0.5 volt biasing at the top electrode whole transport layer. Mobile ions we are activating in this, and we are performing the swap. Now here in this example we are swapping the voltage, where we have specified a particular range of voltage from -0.4, -0.2, 0, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6 up to 0.9 we have performed. This each step we will do the swapping. Now let me start to run the simulation, and before that I can generate the HTML report. So I click on this start button, Now you can see here the simulation is running very fast. So within 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you can get the results. This is successfully converging. Log script is there. Now you can click on this display key figures. This display key figure will predict you the VOC value, current density value, fill factor, maximum power, and power conversion efficiency. So you need to vary these parameters, and accordingly maximum whatever the efficiency you can get, you need to vary the parameters and you can get the output. And this is current versus voltage graph. IV characteristics, power conversion efficiency, output, power density output, and other electrical anion density, current density, all plots, and with swapping of voltage biasing. So these are different biasing, how the potential or other parameter will change, that you can see. Similarly, for spectral analysis, this is layer spectral with respect to the variation of voltage. Either there will be effect of absorptance or there is no such absorptance effect, that you can see. And similarly for reflectance, transmittance, all things can be gathered. And this is for HTML report. You can visualize similarly for new, whatever in this example, what HTML parameters are there, what materials, like here perovskite layer, TATM, hole transport, C60 material is used, and swapping parameters. And accordingly, how much is the VOC, how much is the fill factor or power conversion efficiency, that is also plotted. And now this is a current voltage curve and current with different conditions, power density analysis, conversion efficiency. These all are HTML output report. So once you will see it, then you will get to know more about it. I will take 10 more minutes, then we will have a query session, so you can ask your queries after 10 minutes, and whatever your query will be there, I will be here to resolve all your questions. These all are outputs. Okay. Now what more advanced features are there related to solar cell? So this is a transient perovskite example is also there. So in this transient perovskite, the drift diffusion model with transient solver is used. This is steady state with transient mode and transient solver. Implicit Euler method is used and all parameter is specified. Export transient profiles, time step, initial value, maximum value, final values. So transient perform calculation and offset, pulse, voltage, and this is a script mode. This is a script that will automatically generate in every example, but it is not necessary to write any script for you. It will automatically generate from the user interface, but you can also check the script, and if you are interested to edit in the script, then it is also possible to change the script from the script mode. Suppose you would like to edit it, then this is a edit option where directly you can edit in the script. So this copy pencil option is called for escape. This TV option is basically a log window where you can calculate, see the calculation log. Either there is some error is there or successfully converged or not. And this is an output window where you can check all the output, electrical and optical output. So this is perovskite density, charge density analysis you can plot, and transient, you want to see the transient effect, then these are some transient profile. This is with respect to the time, you can swap, and with respect to time how this graph is changing, that you can see. Even band, how with respect to time, the swapping of band with respect to time. So that is called transient, that can be performed. So in simple way, multiple steps it is performing. Langevin recombinations, electron densities, hole densities with respect to time is showing the output. So similarly in the checkboard and multi-curve, like that. Now, and other output is there: transient voltage, transient balanced, current transient, mean voltage transient. And there are a lot of other scattering is also very scattering is also very advanced modules that is there in the solar cell. So let me show you one scattering for solar cell parameter. Now, if you would like to simulate a tandem solar cell, tandem perovskite, dye-sensitized, this is dye-sensitized where TiO2 as a dye or SnO2 or FTO electrode, ITO electrode. So anyone you can click on generate the HTML report and click on run the start simulation for DSSC. But there is some limitation in my trial version. So, but let me show you some tandem perovskite based simulation. This is for tandem perovskite, where this is layer structure. TiO2 is used, amorphous silicon, crystalline silicon is used here, and you can get your results. The photocurrent analysis, solar irradiate eye integrated spectral analysis, layer absorptance specific analysis. These all are output in this format. Now, main thing is that one more thing that I would like to explain you, that is called interface. So like this is a tandem perovskite where interface is the layer. This is interface module. In this advanced module, you can enable the interface for this coated interface, coherent, incoherent, uncoated, and all scattering type stack can be defined like Lambertian form, VHDF, Gaussian. 3D ray tracing you can perform, number of rays, micro lenses, geometry, spec per rectangular, hexagonal type. These all parameters you can specify for this scattering also. So you can enable the scattering, import the texture surface. So texture photovoltaic lab, the data is imported here. You can find this is texture data that is imported here, and you can get the data here. This is imported in text format. So invert or random pace or Gaussian type, you can enable this Gaussian or exponential. RMS settings, real mean square setting parameters you can define, or a lot of other parameters are there which is not able to explain in this two hours. So 2 hours is not enough, so that's why I request you can also join our webinar on 8th July at 11:30 a.m. So you can join it and you can also understand more capability, and you can ask your queries that day as well. And this is a scattering parameter where you can define the number of angles, H apertures, and these all materials you can see here. No such limitations of number of layers. N number of layers you can specify. And this is intensity modulated photospectroscopy, IMPS analysis, polymer layers. You can define and run the calculations, and it will automatically print all your output. Results will automatically be generated. AC current standardizations, all real and imaginary part will be plotted. Like that absorption profile, which layer will get a maximum absorption. So like polymer semiconducting layer will get a maximum absorption. So more solar cell are there. Like this is bilayer, forward biasing, reverse biasing, dark current. This is dark current analysis. We can run the job and you can see the dark current analysis. And similarly, potential and other output. And for hysteresis is also there. Hysteresis, memristors, impedance analysis, all things are there. Optical generations, transient profiles, like that. And this is for electrical impedance analysis, like capacitance, impedance, conductance, capacitance analysis for particular layer. So here gold, MEH, PPV, calcium layer, drift diffusion, we are doing the SE impedance calculations, swapping of voltage Wissing, and perform the output analysis under these conditions. And similarly for trapping, if you want to perform the trapping, this is for trap under conditions. And for quantum dot phosphorescent dye, if you would like to define, then there is an option called dye option, where you can define the scattering. Like this is a diversion module, scattering by nanoparticles and number of rays, monodispersion, polydispersive, Gaussian dispersion, optically all materials parameter dispersion mode, and this is quantum dot phosphorescent dye. You can also define number of radius, refractive index, mean free path, quantum yield, emission spectrum files you can import and you can perform. So that's why it is there. So all electron transport, hole transport, emissive layer you can use. And for series resistance, parallel resistance, if you would like to define, then you can see here series resistance and parallel resistance, device area you can enable. So a lot of features are there. It is very broad software, but I can assure you it can definitely help you in your photovoltaic solar cell device modeling and simulations. And if you have more analysis you would like to get, then it is very broad software. Like one more tandem device, let me simulate, then we will come to your queries. So this is like a tandem IV, where there are many multiple layers are there: surrounding, substrate, ITO, PDOT, polymer, ZNO, and there is interface between the ZNO and PDOT layers. And with polymer, there are two polymer and two PDOT layers, and ZNO and interface and aluminum. This is layer structure. Enable the hooping for different this is interface, and this is frequency that you can set. You can define the Fermi Dirac, electrical field barrier lowering parameters, and let me simulate it. So simulation is completed. VOC, JSC, fill factor, and maximum power efficiency is plotted. You can plot here and plot the current balance. This is current balance, current versus voltage graph. And similarly for band plot, and how the band is changing with respect to the voltage that is showing here. Now I have tried to explain most of the feature of the software. So we have a time 20 minutes time. There is section for a query session, so you can ask your queries. I request you can unmute your mic, or you can ask your queries, or you can type in the chat box, I think. So thank you from my side to Dr. Sai Santosh Ravi, who has given me this opportunity to explain this software.
Yeah, thanks, Anil. Few questions are already typed, so I would just ask you about that to begin with. This is by N. Srinivasan. Can we use the models available in software database, or we can add our own models to the software?
Basically, the user can basically add the parameters of models. Background equation is already there, but if you would like to change the physical quantities, physical model parameters, then definitely user can edit the parameters. Suppose electrical parameter, optical parameters, you would like to change, then it is possible. but equations cannot be defined, but model parameters can be defined. That is possible.
There's another question by Shreya Tiwari. She asks, what is the use of EFN and EFP? You have shown one place, right? EFN, EFP in HOMO-LUMO bar.
This is basically energy Fermi reference level for N-type and P-type. So there is one Fermi level, and above that there is some conduction band and valence band. So we can calculate the band gap between the valence band and conduction band through this reference level. So this is a gap that can be calculated either it is a semiconducting, insulating, or metallic materials. So that is basically to calculate the band gap.
Okay. So these are the two questions which are asked. Maybe we can wait for others to start raising their hands and ask. I have my own questions. So
Okay.
if you agree, I will just ask before everyone, by the time others are ready with their questions. Look, what we have seen today is mainly the demonstration of what the capabilities of the STREDFOS is. Correct?
Definitely.
So how do I match my experimental data with the theory? What should I do?
So basically what you can do, we have a equipment as well. So you can do one thing, you can calculate the results like fill factor or ISC BOC from experimental, that already equipment you have. You can calculate the value from there, and you can also do the simulations here. Same value you can put in the our software before doing the calculations, like thickness, whatever you use in your fabrication or synthesis, same thickness you can put, and electrical parameter and optical parameters that you can put here also. So whatever value you already calculated from experimental and from simulation, that you can match. So there is even some paper I have shown in the presentation that is already IIT BHU is published. They have used this software and they have published the experimental results and simulation results using STREDFOS, and around 98-99% they are expecting. So
This
that's
is
why
okay. No, my question is much more specific. Now, what are we modeling? Like, let's say, when we know that experiment is giving this number, so we are already aware that this is the best efficiency we can get. So how will the software help us to improve further?
let me show you, tell you. Like suppose you have get some results from your experimental things. At particular thickness of particular material, you have get that results. And if you would like to vary the thickness, so there is some option like you can in single click you can vary multiple range of thickness. So under different thickness variations, how the results can be improved. Not only thickness, by voicing, by temperature, by optical parameters, by electrical parameters. So all these variations can be studied. That's why whatever results you are getting, that is a maximum efficiency you can get. But you can also do the variation under different conditions and different thickness variation and optical electrical doping. You can dope particular concentrations and what will be the effect of doping and at what doping we can get more or maximize the efficiency, that we can also be checked here.
So let me just summarize what you answered to me. Now, I have a solar cell and I have done the JV characteristics and I got my solar cell data. Similarly, I have done the EQV measurements and I have the EQV data. Now, what you are saying is that we can give the input to the software, get the data which is similar to our experiment. Basically, we simulate the data. So along with the simulation, what are parameters which are not known while experiment, but the parameters which are required to plug in for the software for the theory, like trap states, trap state recombination, all this data are automatically simulated and we get information about it by matching the experiment with the simulated result. Is it what you're saying?
Yes, definitely.
So this way we can also, just by doing the experiment and trying to use your software, we can also predict the mobility that is happening.
Definitely.
Okay.
Because whatever the results you are getting experimentally, you can also do the various multiple options are there where you can vary the various parameter which is not known here. So that's why it is very broad things are there.
Yeah, another thing which I understand is that by virtue of you getting the numbers specific to the material system of the solar cell, we are able to do further trial and error using simulation without doing the experiment. We can try to vary the few parameters in the simulator, get the better efficiencies. Once we know what is the simulation, what is the model, by modeling what is the best parameter, we can try to reproduce experimentally. And that way we know we don't need to waste our time and effort and materials to do a lot of trial and error. We can just directly go and get the information from the simulation.
Definitely. So simulations, because every institute may not afford the equipment. The IIT is having a lot of very expensive equipment, but every student cannot afford. But that's why the simulation software are not much costlier as compared to equipment. So they can also perform the simulation, and the results can also be near to the experimental, and they can publish the paper as well. So that's why if experimental facility is there, that is also better, but it is also recommended to prepare the simulation as well.
Yeah, so I was just trying to see how experiment and simulation go hand in hand, so that I mean, I tell you one simple example. Like we are trying to do some bulk heterogeneration solar cell with annealing. So every time we want to anneal, we want to deposit new films. It takes a lot of time and effort to make it. Now let's say we have obtained one particular optimized blend and optimized data, so we can plug in those inputs to the software, get out, and we can play around with what is the possible variations, see if software is able to predict something higher than what we achieved. If it has predicted certain parameters which can be improved, we can repeat that with our setup.
Definitely.
And that way we can do this kind of optimization further.
Definitely.
So this is something which is nice to know. Yeah.
Right.
Any more questions? I'm asking too many questions, guys. Please. Participants may start asking questions now.
Sir, is it audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
Can we model the DSSC type of device?
Yes, definitely. You can also possible the DSSC. You can define the dyes, electrolyte. That is also possible. You can define. So DSSC, perovskite, tandem, hybrid, silicon, heterojunctions. That device you can simulate easily.
Okay. But actually, when you are modeling, the electrolyte based parameter is not available. So can we add it, or is it there?
So we would like to know what parameters you would like to add. So I can the parameter electrical, optical, and some other parameter what I explained in the presentation and demonstration, that you can edit it. But what makes more you would like to edit, that you can let us know. We can elaborate.
Okay. It is a liquid type layer. So as you said, each layer have the parameter like a thickness and refractive index. But the liquid electrolyte, yeah.
Like there is one example here, that is tandem solar cell DSSC.
No, I see there is an electrolyte already there.
It is electrolyte.
There is electrolyte. Yeah, it is there. Yeah. I think this is very standard thing, Venkat. I think electrolyte has to be included in this kind of softwares.
Yes, it is there.
But then if you want to dope something in the electrolyte and change the parameters of the electrolyte, maybe that has to be included further.
Yes, sir. Here the liquid electrolyte thickness we cannot define it, no, sir. Normally when we do experimentally.
You can by putting the spacer. If you know the thickness of the spacer, you can, in principle, do that.
Okay.
And also you would know the thickness of the mesoporous TiO2. Let's say you start with 10 microns, then you put the spacer of 6 to 4 microns. That is why they put 16. Or you can always have 2 to 3 microns further.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, hello, sir. Sushmita here. Sir, my doubt is this software only gives the characteristics on cells, or also it can be done on PV modules?
Basically, for large area devices, for PV module simulation, we have one software. As in the second slide, I told you there is one software called LAOS. That is also from Fluxim. That is basically for PV module simulation. So let me show you here in the slide. This is basically a software, LAOS. This is for PV module simulations, where you can also simulate the module and you can calculate the electrical optical properties. So this today I have given the demonstration about SATFOS, but for module simulation for large area devices, we have this LAOS as well that can be do the calculation for photovoltaic PV module simulations.
Okay, sir. So may I know the cost of this package LAOS, whatever you said about the module?
Basically, the cost of these are both separate software, both software independent software, and the cost I can give you if you would like to. There is option called 1 year license, 3 year license, and permanent license. 3 policies we have: 1 year, 3 year, and permanent. So for solar cell only, not LED. For solar cell, basic 2 module will cost around 3.5 lakh for 1 year license, for 3.5 lakh for 1 year license, and 7.5 lakhs for 3 year license, and for 12 lakhs approx for permanent license. So 3.5 lakhs, 7.5 lakhs, and permanent license for 1 year, 3 year, and permanent. So 3 policies we have for basic 2 module, drifter diffusion and absorptions. So if you would like to get more about it, you can contact to me. I can give you a best offer, whatever you can. So you can. I request to participant, please keep noted down my email ID and mobile number. In future, if you have any questions or any doubt in your mind, please contact to me for that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any more queries? I think I received one in chat by Shreva Triyari again. Sir, in IV graph, we can figure out the flow of electrons emit the compound, but what about the wavelength contribution? Because the graph which you have shown in between is between the current and wavelength.
So can you repeat this question, please, sir?
Shreya, are you not able to ask directly? If you raise your hand, probably I can unmute you, because the question is not so clear. I'll just read it out again. In the IV graph, we can figure out the flow of electrons emit the compound, but what about the wavelength contribution? Looks like you have shown some graph where there is a thickness dependent flow of current as a function of x.
Right. So
yeah,
like that.
So the question is, we can look at the flow of the current, but what about the wavelength contribution?
So like wavelength contribution here in the absorption setting, we have defined the parameter. Like here, this single wavelength either we can specify or range of wavelength we can specify. So like by default, it will take 500 wavelength. But if you would like to swap a range of wavelength, then definitely it will. You can plot the current with respect to the wavelength. So current can be plotted with respect to wavelength or current voltage. Any parameters you can plot it.
So maybe the rule of thumb is you look at the maximum absorption point of the material, and then you go to you try to look at the current at that point, isn't it? The wavelength.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, so my question is, what about if we are plotting 3 kinds of measurements, 3 parameters? We are considering 3 parameters. One is of current, another is of potential, and third is of wavelength. Is it possible here? Or like how we can correlate them in between?
So you would like to plot a potential, current, and
wavelength graph.
Okay, so 3 plot you want to like simultaneously you can plot, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is options like here where we are swapping one parameter, that wavelength we are swapping. But if you would like to swap multiple parameter at a time, then there is option called you can swap the wavelength, recombinations, that potential and recombinations. So multiple parameter you need to set so that it can predict the output on different parameters. Or second option, you can like export your results. You can export your results in the format, and then you can plot in the Excel format and you can compare it. So exporting is also one option, or you can perform the multiple swapping. Multiple parameters can be swapped at a time, and accordingly you can multiple graphs can be plotted.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Like here, there is one more option. If this is a current versus voltage graph, if you would like to import your potential or a combination, you can that text format. You can export your potential in the text format, and then you can import here in this screen, so that you can also compare your results, 3 or 4, whatever maximum you would like to compare. Then you can compare it. Not an issue, but it should be in particular range. This should be in the particular range, current versus voltage, or all results should be in, but range is specific.
Yes, sir.
Any more queries, please?
I think you all should start thinking about this, how to do the simulation. I request Anil to send me the paper we are telling. I can share it with the participants.
Fine.
Okay, and then participants can always reach out to you, because you have given the sufficient contact info, so they can reach out to you for any questions and queries. Okay, so if there are no more questions, maybe we can close this session today with this. Anyone else? I can just ask once more, twice. Okay, maybe it's a long day. In any case, thank you, Anil, for accepting my invitation. I was intrigued myself to know what all this, how to match the experiment with theory, and I thought this is a good platform to ask my questions and also ask questions which are relevant to any researcher working in this direction.
Right.
So it was the main motivation, and your talk has really contributed a lot in enriching our knowledge in this faculty development program, and I should thank you for your patience.
So
Thanks
I
for,
also thank you for inviting me, and in future, if you have required any support or any thing from our side, please let us know. We will
sure,
keep in
definitely, sure, yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
to all
on behalf of all, I would like to thank you, Anil. We'll get back to you if anything else is, and you please stay in touch with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.